Hi everyone. Today's video is a video on clearing rage. So if you have rage at anyone or anything, this is your opportunity to clear it out. So think about what you're enraged at and give it a number on a scale of 0 to 10. How high is the rage? So if you have a number in mind, we can start now. We'll do some tapping, some emotional freedom techniques. This video assumes you already know the basics of EFT, and as you take responsibility for yourself, we can start this healing work. So to find your sore spot, start where your neck is, where your neck meets your torso. Go down 3 inches to the left 3 inches, and within a 2-inch radius, find a spot that feels sore. That's called your sore spot. And now you rub your sore spot and you say, even though I have all this rage of so much out of 10, intensity is so much out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, whatever it is, okay? I deeply and completely love and accept this enraged part of myself. I love and accept this enraged part of myself. It's an inner child part of you that needs to be healed. Look at all the harm that's happening in the world with rage, which is unchecked. All the people that are dying all over the world, innocent people, because of rage within others that hasn't been cleared. Then they get these weapons and they go around shooting everybody, and it's just not appropriate. It's much easier to just clear it out within yourself. So let's help the planet by clearing out our inner childhood wounds. Even though I have all this rage, I deeply and completely love and accept this inner child part of myself that has this rage. It could have started as rage for things that you didn't receive in childhood that you wanted. Love, affection, good services, whatever it was you didn't get. Resentment. We're clearing rage and resentment. Even though I have this rage and resentment, I deeply and completely love and accept this part of myself that has this rage and resentment. And I love this part of myself that has the rage and resentment. The idea is we want to heal the part. That's why we love it, because we want to heal it. We want to understand it, and we want to help it to mature up the behavior from rage, from resentment, to something else which is more appropriate and matured up. So now we start the tapping, top of the head, all this rage. Eyebrow, we're tapping the beginning of the eyebrow, all this rage. Side of the eye, all this rage. Under the eye, all this rage. See where you're holding the rage. Wherever you're holding it is where you'll want to feel like tapping a little longer, under the nose, all this rage. You'll feel other releases in your body, in your muscles, and other parts of the body. Not necessarily where you're tapping, because it's freeing up the river of stuck energy in the body. We're tapping on 7 meridian points, all this rage, all this remaining rage. But there's 14 energy meridians. So as we clear up these 7, because they all form a circle. They all form a circle in the body, all the meridians. But when you clear up these 7, you're then freeing up the others as well. We don't have to do all of them. There's many meridian points on the tips of the fingernails. All this rage. The kidney, this is the kidney meridian. Kidneys usually hold fear. But fear can be the basis for anger. Fear can be the basis for anger. Usually women will own up to their fears, but may not necessarily own up to their anger. So then they end up having a lot of stored anger inside them. Men will own up to their anger, but will not own up to all their will not own up to all their fears. So they end up having a lot of fears inside them. It's funny how we're socialized into what is acceptable behavior or acceptable emotion in society and what isn't. And it actually controls us. So we want to clear out, as we're doing it for ourselves, we're also doing it for the template, for the whole of humanity. And if you happen to experience this, then know that you're not only helping yourself, you're helping the whole world by clearing up your part of that template. So you're in fact ushering in a new template to replace that one that had the negative thought. In this case, the negative thought is, I feel so resentful, I feel so enraged. That is the thought we're clearing out today. It could be a thought, it could be an emotion. Usually by the time there's so much energy around it, it's no longer just a thought, it's an emotion. It's like a thought superimposed by another thought, a few months later, superimposed by another thought, a few months later, superimposed by another thought a few weeks later, and it's just a whole string. And the string may have started at a time when you were a child. So when you're clearing it, you're not just clearing out your resentment at your boss, for example, or at your spouse, or anybody that you're resentful about. You're literally clearing it out all the way back to where it came from. Depends if you do clear it all the way to 0 or not, And your body will only clear what it can handle on that particular day. So sometimes it takes more repetition because you can only handle so much on a particular day. And you may need to do the same tapping on another day to go deeper and clear out more. But you'll come to 0 for that day, and that's good enough, That's good enough. All this rage, all this resentment. How are you feeling now? Has it come down? So we've finished several rounds of tapping. Now I want you to just give yourself a pause and just think, how much is the rage now? Is it 0? If so, then your tapping is done, and we can bring in something positive to replace that rage. If it's still a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, I suggest you rewind this video, go back and clear out with a few more rounds of tapping till you bring it down to a 0, and then fast forward back to here. We're at 9 minutes and 36 seconds. So let's do some positive tapping now. Let's bring in the positive. I feel at peace with whoever you were enraged with. I feel at peace with blank.